everyone, it's Ruby here and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Now in today's video, I will be doing a demo and review on a very popular foundation that has been out in the US, but it is finally here in Australia, and you can tell that I've been waiting like a really long time for this foundation. It's the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. On paper, this foundation is everything that I want and more. My favorite YouTubers have been raving about this foundation, so I have very high hopes and expectations for this foundation. Now, I have very dry, dehydrated skin. It's acne prone and I've got a lot of textural issues going on. I know it's very problematic, but that's what makeup is for. That's what makeup is for. It's here to make us feel good about the things that we are insecure about. And for me, it is my skin, and foundation is probably the most important makeup item in my collection, in my opinion. So if you'd like to see my review on this foundation, then please keep on watching and be sure to subscribe to my channel down below to stay up to date with future videos. All right, let's get started. So this is my current skin situation, and I always like to start with absolutely no makeup on so you can see what I'm dealing with. So I do have a few post-acne marks that I need to cover, but first and most importantly, we need a primer. This is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Mattifying Base. I have raved about this primer multiple times because it's absolutely amazing. Today is 35 degrees Celsius outside, so I need to make sure that this foundation isn't going anywhere and that I'm not going to sweat it off. So what I like to do is I take a generous amount of primer. Okay, I take a lot of primer, and I work this towards the center of my face, especially on my cheek and nose area, since that's where I have textural issues, open pores, etc. You guys know what lives there. And then I work the rest like on my forehead, into my hairline, so like my beads of sweat won't move my makeup. And I am doing a 10-hour wear test, so we need to give this foundation a fair go, don't you think? If you haven't seen it before, this is what the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation looks like. It comes in a squeezy tube like this. There are 6 shades available here in Australia, and the shades that I'm using are 202 and 207 because the undertones of these foundations match my undertones. So I can just customize the shade to see fit. I was pleasantly surprised to see that this foundation is quite liquidy. It's very lightweight. Let me tell you, it is very lightweight. So the way that I like to apply my foundations, and if you've been watching me for a while now, you would know, I like to spread or distribute the foundation evenly across my face. At this point in time, I don't know if I'm applying too much product to my skin, but on this side of my face, I will be doing the brush test. I will be seeing how well this foundation blends with a synthetic blending brush. This one is the Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush. So far, this foundation is blending out so quickly and so easily using a brush. There's no streak marks, and you can definitely take your time blending out this foundation as it doesn't set very quickly. I don't think I have a foundation that blends out so quickly, so I was very pleasantly surprised. And the coverage, I pretty much did half of my face using minimal product, and I'm just going over the areas that need a little extra help, a little extra coverage, just so I can conceal my pigmentation and my post-acne marks. On the other side, I will be applying my foundation in the exact same way, distributing it evenly over my face, but I will be blending it out using a beauty blender or a beauty sponge just to see what tool works best for this foundation. Now, I really do like the side with the sponge. I mean, the blending process and the buffing process is definitely cut in half if you do use a brush, but I feel like the water in the sponge, because I am using it damp, I feel like the water in the sponge is helping make this foundation look even more dewy and glowier. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section, is the side that I have used a sponge, does it look glowier and more radiant than the side that I've used a brush? Or am I crazy? You can tell me that in the comment section down below. So this is what each side looks like. I definitely love the side where I've applied my foundation using a sponge. So this foundation is supposed to be like your light to medium coverage. It's got a luminous finish. I feel like you can get more coverage out of this foundation. I have quite problematic skin, and it's done an amazing job at just evening out my skin tone. But that glow, let's see if it lasts. And this is my face done. I will chat to you guys soon in 10 hours. Hey guys, it's been a full 10 hours and I am back to report how the foundation and I got along today. Now, I'm super exhausted. I'm probably going to babble and talk nonsense because I'm so tired and I just want to go to bed, but I really wanted to film this for you and just let you know my experience with the foundation. Now, first of all, today was like 36 degrees Celsius. It was really hot, and I'm so glad I popped on this primer underneath, especially close to my hairline, because I had beads of sweat just rolling off my face, and I'm like, that's it. My foundation is a goner. No, this guy's a lifesaver. I highly recommend this primer, and I'm pretty sure I've raved about this primer before. Anyways, you'll hear about the foundation now. This is what my foundation looks like right now. It's still very glowy. It isn't patchy. It doesn't feel ridiculously sticky, but it doesn't feel tight and uncomfortable. It feels like when I first applied it. I mean, this is supposed to be a very hydrating foundation. It's a foundation formulated for drier skin types. From afar, the foundation looks really, really good. It feels really nice on the skin, even though it's been a full 10 hours of wear and 35 degrees of heat. And I think I've only touched up the center of my face maybe twice with a little bit of powder, just to help mattify the sweat and the shine. But everything else, it was like a really flattering glow. Like it wasn't, an intense oil slick on my face with this heat. This foundation is actually really, really nice and glowy, and it actually stays glowy throughout the day. Usually, my skin is so dry that it absorbs everything, and I'm left with this dry, cracked, cakey mess of a face. But as you can see, it's still very glowy. Now, the texture of my skin, it's not as smooth as when I first applied it, but keep in mind, it's been 10 hours. It was a 35 or 36 degree heat outside. I was sweating, it was messy. I was a mess, girls. I was a mess. It looks really, really good. It hasn't really migrated into my fine lines. I mean, it did a little bit here, but all I had to do was kind of just press and smush the product into place, and it was fine. So I'm really impressed with this foundation, but it is a long-lasting, very hydrating foundation that is formulated for dry skin. Actually, if I could go back in time, I would hold off on publishing my top 6 affordable drugstore foundations so I can include this in my lineup. So I'm gonna have to go back to that video and put something in the description box listing this foundation as one of my favorite drugstore foundations in the lineup. If you haven't seen this video, I will link it in an iCard up above, and it also features another 2 L'Oreal foundations. It does oxidize a little. I have to say it does oxidize a little. The formulation and everything else is absolutely beautiful. Would I recommend this foundation to you? 100%. It is super affordable. There's 6 shades available, and it's just suited to drier, dehydrated skin types. So it's very forgiving on textured skin. Even after the full 10 hours where it's not, emphasizing dry spots, blemishes, open pores, and, pitting in my skin. It's a lovely, brilliantly formulated foundation, and it's something that you definitely need to try if you haven't tried it already. And that's it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed my foundation review. Please let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. I have Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter, and I will link them on the screen down below and also in the description box. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you all in a brand new video next week. Mwah. Bye.